live. We're just okay, live Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, the SEO Vault. Here we go. Just waiting for my computer to load up the Facebook here.
Hurry up,
All right,
computer.
there we go. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the SEO Vault. This is episode 174, it looks like. Today, I'll be hosting with my buddy Bucky here, and Chaz couldn't make it. I think he's out sick. Sophie's away working hard on tons of stuff. So we got Bucky and myself today. So welcome. Hope everyone's having a great week. This is the episode, SEO Vault, episode 174, like I said. Let's see. We have a little intro here, and I just completely lost it. Here we go. This is where we analyze, go over the SEO news, filter out the noise, analyze SEO tests, results, tactics, what's moving in the SERPs. Just a reminder for anyone who would like us to take a look at any of your campaigns, we offer free SEO audits and link audits on web20ranker.com. Also, SEO Spring Training Event 2023. I don't even know why that's there, Bucky, to be honest. It just says that. So Bucky will tell you more about that in a bit.
I gotcha.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna go over some brand updates, then we're gonna go over some recent news, some tests. So stick around. It's gonna be a great episode. Sorry for the choppy intro there. How's it going, Bucky?
I wonder how upset people would be if I just start sharing this in all the SEO groups on Facebook that I have access to.
Oh, I know. You could just share in any group. I know that. I've been tempted to just share in a bunch of groups. Like I actually left a bunch of SEO groups though. If I didn't leave them all, I probably would have just shared it in there.
Most of them are pretty
I got
good as
kicked
long
out.
as it's value driven, but some of them can be haters.
We also go live every week, so if we were just like promoting our podcast every week in someone's group, just
Yeah.
not even saying anything, just doing that, I think that'd be kind of bogus,
I did share it in the SEO spring training group, so hopefully Terry's cool with that. I'm sure he will be since we are promoting the spring training on here for him. And of
Yes, yeah,
course,
actually that
myself and
was in my
Chaz are going to be there, so that's good.
I was gonna say you're gonna tell them more about that because it's in the intro here, but it just says SEO spring training event coming up. So, but yeah, if you want to go and tell them more about that and the other updates we got.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, a huge lineup of some really, really good speakers. And it kind of runs the gamut of SEO through marketing, local SEO, content, brand positioning. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. It's a huge lineup. And then, of course, myself and Chaz are going to be there speaking as well. I have no idea what Chaz is going to talk about. I'm going to be doing client retention and reporting, which I haven't started on yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use ChatGPT to help me write the outline. So it'll be pretty good. Get some of the content in there.
Just take all the materials that you have on the subject and just put it in there and be like, write a presentation
You
for me.
literally could do that if you wanted to. I did a let's see, what was it? So I asked it. I was playing around with it last night while I was watching a movie, and I asked it to do pretend like you're a client who was looking for a service and found the service online and was able to read blog posts. It was like 3 or 4 sentences of direction, and then it spit out, oh, it found this website. The blog post on the website was so great, and it helped them rank their GBP better. And then I said, okay, now rewrite it, but add in that not only were you able to grab good results from the training that was in the blog post, but you decided that you would rather use that service and have been happy ever since. And it ended up being like a long client testimonial that ChatGPT wrote. And of course, it was in one of my chats where I'd done some marketing stuff with my agency. So it remembered that we were talking about my agency, and it remembered that we were talking about uh, GBP and ranking. It remembered the blog post that I had referenced before. So it literally just went back and kind of wrote a client review off of everything that it was in the chat previous. So it's like, that's going to be I mean, that would be a really cool way to do like review sites for somebody that wanted to do, review generation, or even like guest posting, or, commenting, whatever it could be. But that was just a quick, simple, might have took me 5 minutes worth of direction, and it spit out something that I didn't even have to edit. I mean, it read well and everything. But I don't see why it couldn't do a presentation as well. Give it an outline and say, I need content around each of these topics that I'm going to be training on. And it probably would be able to write an entire PowerPoint presentation if you wanted it to.
I think the bigger benefits that, like, right now I'm working a lot with OpenAI, but from more of I mean, not just writing content with Chat GPT, which is nice, or even optimizing content. I've put a ton of prompts that I use just to like put the client's content in and tell it how to break out entities and keywords, and give me other titles and questions people ask pertaining to the subject, and essentially do a lot of my on-page optimization, like initial on-page optimization with AI. But more importantly, working at like training the AI and creating like a huge benefit, I think, is going to be for businesses to use AI for general support. Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm working on training it on like FAQs for a couple companies, and then also for a project of mine with if anyone knows about the Corporate Transparency Act, it's a new U.S. Thing being put into place. And anyways, I'm not going to go into that, but there's all this new legislation and stuff like that, and it's obviously not in the open AI because it only goes up to a certain time. This is stuff that's being released all through last year, and being able to train the AI on answering those questions or knowing the up-to-date material, or even like for clients, like I'm working on one, just a general FAQ Q&A for an old a masonry company that I used to work with. And essentially, when people ask like these general questions about, do you offer this? Or how, are you booked out until these days? There's a lot of those things that you can automate by training the AI and building in, automation. And I think that's something that a lot of people probably aren't talking about outside of, the chat function, which I've been using to code things and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, anyways, I think I posted in the group that I might be doing a live training. Anyone interested in that, let me know. Again, I wouldn't be doing like an AI how to generate content or optimize content. It would be more of the how I use it to write custom code, or even create some little plugin functionality for like putting short codes on the website and things that are easily changeable and updatable, and training the AI too. I think that's going to be the biggest one. But anyways, if you're interested in on that, I'm not going to ramble on it anymore. So let me know. I know everyone's tired of people talking about AI all the time now.
Well, I think definitely people get tired of hearing like, "Oh, I did this with ChatGPT," but hearing like, "Oh, these are my goals with it, and this is how I'm going to use it as part of my bit," like that's the interesting stuff. And every time we talk, it's like something new that we've thought of that it can now do. But that was one of the things in the news that I was going to add earlier and forgot about it. But Microsoft is apparently opening up Azure API and connecting
Yeah.
OpenAI with Azure, so developers in Azure and Windows are now going to be able to use the API with OpenAI.
I think it's specifically the Chat GPT
Yeah.
API that they're going to be connecting with, not the original, you know, open API, the GPT-3 or whatever. So yeah, it's going to make Microsoft a pretty strong contender in just this whole AI search tools development, but we'll see.
I'm
Let's take a look at the
wondering,
comments real quick.
yeah,
Who's
let's
who's
check it.
here?
So
Oh,
Matt's,
Chaz is here.
yeah, Matt checked in. He said, "What's up?" He said, "Bucky is alive. Apparently, they had some small twisters hit North Carolina. Hopefully, nothing was bad there." Um, Chaz says, "What's up?" He said, "Dude, I'm nauseous today, but not from sailing a yacht." Nah, Chaz had to step out for today, which no worries. We got it covered, I think.
We do. I had a pretty good question here. Did you finish the brand updates? You want to run through that,
Yeah, we
rest of
can
that
run through
first?
them real quick. There's nothing major.
Okay.
So of course we mentioned the updated managed search. That's going well. The SEO add-on, which is now available for GBP campaigns, is live and going well as well. Business guest posts are live. We just recently added IT tech niche citations um, to that product line. So if you're looking for niche citations in tech, we've got them for you now. And then I'm going to drop these in the comments here in a second too, but let's see, what else do we have? I think the case study is worth mentioning again, the agency partnership client that we helped grow their agency exponentially. I'll drop that in the comments as well. And then just that blog resource as a whole, the agency growth blog resource, I think is definitely worth mentioning. Um, there's a lot of good actionable training and case studies and such in there, how tos and all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out as well. And then I think it is good to mention we do have plans in place to extend agency support in a liaison type of manner. So as of right now, if you're familiar with the agency partnership program, we do have liaison that is available to you at level 4 and above, based on the active subscription spend. That person's basically a go-between you and you as the agency, and then our teams internally and in the dashboard. And they can of course assist with communications back and forth, order management, all that kind of stuff, to kind of free up your time a bit more as the agency. Because once you do have multiple locations or multiple clients in the dashboard, it can certainly get time consuming to go, through each one. So it's more of a one-on-one campaign manager, one-on-one communication in that role. We've been looking at productizing that for quite some time. And now that we've built out the customer success team as much as we have, we think it's kind of time to start actually, putting that down on paper, scoping each level out, that sort of thing. So that is actively happening, and hopefully the productization of that will be finished soon. And then you guys, whether you're an agency partnership or not, if you have 5 clients and just don't want to mess with the dashboard, then you'll be able to, purchase a person that can actually manage those things for you. Chase down
Did you say
orders,
purchase a person? Are
purchase a
you buying
person,
people now, Bubby?
buying their
I don't think
time.
that's legal.
Oh, I mean, it's buying their time.
You could just purchase a person.
Yeah,
Just
purchase a
buy
Web 20
yourself a
person.
person.
Well, it's a Web 20 person more specifically. So
Yeah, yeah, a skilled SEO to do.
we will be paying them,
Yeah.
so no worries on that. It's not any kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it's not any kind of weird 1800 stuff going on.
But no, it's definitely beneficial when, like Bucky said, when you can get like an update on all your campaigns, especially that's why we're offering what to you said level 4 and level 5,
Yep.
because obviously they got some big campaigns running, or usually many campaigns, not big, I should say. Usually they have 30, 40, 50, 60 even. So
Yeah.
David says I'll take 2. They come at minimum wage depending on where you're located. There's
And
all
then
kinds of laws.
there's going to be levels to it, of course, and then each level comes with additional scope of work that they're capable of doing. And then, of course, the top level is going to be like you're getting an SEO expert type of thing. And that was the biggest thing in the initial thought process was how are we going to productize that and stay, um, you know, in the black, as they say, profitable anyway. And that's one of those things where it's not going to be a huge profit margin at that level, but in the same sense, it also helps bring in, more clients for us. So that's kind of
Well,
what
that's
we're,
really, yeah, that's I think the real goal, right? Is that we can provide a service that'll help our bigger partners scale even further
yeah,
to the
yeah,
next level. And that's why we have the different levels and all of that. So yeah, it's not like a big revenue generator, but coupled with that and our campaigns, we can definitely help people take it, above and beyond where they're at, especially even at those higher levels. Because there's a big difference from going to 5,000 to 10,000 or 10,000 to 20,000 versus like going to 50,000 or 100,000 or 100,000 to 200,000.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're just very different. So
yeah, yeah.
makes sense.
But that's pretty much it for the brand updates. The SEO at the beach obviously is kind of part of that brand update. I'll drop that in the comments as well. Let's see over here on YouTube. Got some folks watching as well. And I guess I'm just going to have to open Facebook on my PC because I can't drop links from
That's
my
weird.
iPad because I don't have those links on my iPad to copy and paste. So my plan did not work as I wanted it to, Mike.
That's unfortunate.
I wanted to not have
Um,
to have Facebook open in Chrome because it just sucks up all my resources, but oh well.
Using Chrome, that's where you went wrong.
Or where I went, oh so right.
Only Brave, buddy. Let me get down on that Brave browser. So I guess I'll jump back to Matt's question here real quick now that we're done with the updates, and then I can get into the news if there's no other questions. But Matt had asked, well, first he had mentioned that I had recommended ClickUp before in connection with Go High Level, and they're in the middle of changing things over, all in an omni-channel marketing. So wanted to know the benefits of ClickUp with Go High Level or High Level or whatever. Um, I don't know if anyone's used ClickUp before. It's a pretty advanced system, primarily for project management, from the actual task management, fulfillment, time tracking, staff tracking, departments, and then even from that to the client reporting side on reporting on tasks complete, hours spent, all that kind of stuff. Um, it is a lot like high level though, where that you can't really just boot it up and just upload your clients and get off and running with it. You really have to build it out. There's actual ClickUp like specialists that can help you do that kind of stuff even. So I would definitely even look into that depending on where you're at right now. If you're a smaller company, and say you have like 5, 10, 20 people, maybe just get in there and start learning about it. If you have, like 50, 100 plus people, you're definitely going to want to work with some kind of a consultant. But high level works really well as a marketing platform, but not really well as like a task management, client fulfilling reporting platform on a task level. I've seen some pretty cool reporting in high level as far as like PPC costs and cost per lead and stuff like that, but ClickUp will really help you manage like the project side of it. And like I said, you can integrate like time tracking on tasks and a bunch of all your meetings go in there, calendars, there's forms, so you can have like your intake forms and everything go right in there, trigger different events and all that good stuff. And then so the automation with the marketing from high level to the project management side, connect those two between the various automations they offer, and it's just I think one of the better systems all around. I would say. I am personally still not a huge fan of high levels landing pages and website builder. So
I
that's
got
probably my least favorite thing on there.
when's the last time you looked at the templates that they have?
And high level,
Yeah,
it's been a minute. It's definitely been a
go
minute.
go check them out. I just built one out for Web 20 for one of our ads, and I was absolutely surprised at how good that thing is.
And do they load fast? Like
They,
super
dude, I had
fast?
no issues. It was drag and drop. It was the
Well, I'm not
templates.
worried about the web builder. I'm actually talking about the website itself. How fast do the websites load? Because they were loaded slow from
Well, that's what I'm waiting on
back
that.
when I was using it.
I'm waiting on that subdomain right now, and as soon as I have that, I can
Um,
actually test that. But I mean, everything on the front or the back end was just fantastic. I was like, God, I wish everything was this easy. Now, as far as load times, that sort of thing, I don't know. I'm not going to build out an entire website around a service on Go High Level just because I know that WordPress is so much better. But for a funnel, like it already had 3-step funnel. It templatized out, and all I had to do was go in and swap out colors and photos and my content copy. And I mean, I did in 3 hours yesterday what generally would take me a couple of days worth of playing around and linking and making things work. And it also, because you're building it in Go High Level, which has all the automations and triggers and all that stuff, they've also built that into the website builder and the funnels to where you can say, okay, the click of this button does this action. And then in the automations, you can trigger from that action to do something else. So it's all kind of in one place. And that automation and triggering is like foresight. They built it in to work with the website builder as well. So
yeah, like I said, my main concern is the load time.
yeah,
The load times have always sucked, and that's why I can't use them for like PPC ads or paid ads for clients, or never have. And I mean, that's literally the only like I do like high level, great software, and I'm not even like saying that there's like it's the worst web builder and web hosting or anything like that. Like I don't want to like say no, like it sucks more than anything. That's not the case. But as far as like for me to be able to give up even like a page builder, for PPC ads, that's like the only real part that I always missed with high level,
yeah.
and I've always had to kind of fill in the blank with. But yeah, I mean, if it loads, I hope the load time is really good. Matt mentioned he's gonna stick with Trello and GHL. Trello is definitely just a very simple. If you don't have a big team and you're tracking time and all that, I definitely wouldn't worry about ClickUp too much. I've used Trello and Google Sheets to, you know, run six-figure companies easy. So,
Oh yeah, and they're also working on making Chat GPT part of Go High Level as well. I did read
Bucky,
about
just
that.
name a software that isn't integrating Chat
Google,
GP.
Google, they're
Google.
building their own.
Well, of course, Google wouldn't.
The
Yeah, that's
that you know what, and that I was thinking about that yesterday. That is very reminiscent of Apple in being like, no, we're not going to use anything else. It's fantastic. We're going to build our own.
mm-hmm.
But I know for a fact that whatever they build, they're going to integrate across all kinds of different things either way. So I don't know, just when they came out with that was like, yeah, we're gonna ramp up our AI, and it was almost like we're gonna build one better, which they may end up being able to do, but I think that they could very well be making a mistake there, and they may end up having to work with Chat GPT regardless. Like I think at some point one of them's going to win out, and Chat GPT's got the jump on them right now. But we have no idea because we don't know what they have either. Like they haven't given us anything to play with. So
The AI space race.
yeah, yeah. I was like, well, Google doesn't like it. Microsoft does. Microsoft's going to integrate it. Microsoft gave them how many millions of dollars into Chat GPT not long ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, uh oh, Microsoft's going for the play.
Do we got any comments or anything on YouTube?
Let me
I'm gonna head
check.
over.
I don't think so. Nope, we do not.
Google Spaces and Trello is good too. I like Google Spaces and Microsoft Teams. I hate to say it, I like Microsoft Teams, but Google Drive and their Word docs and sheets are better than Word and Excel. So, but
I hate Slack. I'm so used to Discord for communications. Like I tried Slack with one of our bigger agency companies and I absolutely hated it. What was the other Asana?
I'm not an Asana fan. Yeah,
I
can't
don't know if I
about
can
it.
get used to it. I'm so used to Trello at this point, and I've been trying to get into Asana and helping out the marketing team. Sophie loves it. She's all
Yeah, I
in,
know.
but
I know.
I can't get into it.
I'm not a fan. I think it's gotten better since I've used it, but it's all the same stuff. This software, that software, like you got to have a quality business first. Pick whatever software you want.
Well, yeah, and your workflows as well. Like if your workflows suck and they're not built out, to work
Hmm.
well in something like that, then you're shooting yourself in the foot to begin with.
Exactly. All right, let me jump in and get some news out of the way here. If there's any more questions or anything, go ahead, ask in the comments. We'll get to those after this before we go over the tests. All right, so it looks like there was just some ranking fluctuations on some of the algorithm trackers there this week. So if anyone's seeing any fluctuations at all, let us know. Some people are chattering about there being a possible update, of course. Just a regular week in SEO. Google discontinues the Google Post Insight, so you're not going to be able to see that anymore. Um, Google has added a perspectives and opinion section in search, or is testing around with that as far as when it comes to possibly review sites. I haven't seen this yet, but could see if that becomes more prominent in other searches as well. Google removes embedded podcasts from search results. So the ability to actually listen to podcasts in search is not available. Do you know, Bucky, if that's also just the YouTube videos that they have with the
No, I think it was across all. So I don't think it's YouTube videos. I think it's the actual YouTube podcast platform as well as any
okay.
other podcasts. So the videos would still be in search. And if they have it on there as, just uploaded as a video, um, then that's a
I
little bit
wonder how
different. But
many, yeah, a lot of podcasts are using video too. So I don't know. That could be yeah. Wonder I have to look more into that. It's been a while since I looked at our SEO Vault SERPs. All right, let's see. Google testing the business photo in the in around map pin on Google Maps, it looks like. Could be interesting if we have a photo displaying in our pins on Google Maps. And then also finally we got some comments. Looks like mostly from John Mueller. I think something from Gary here, but John Mueller says publishing frequently or content frequently does not make something spammy. As usual, quality content is really all that matters. Let's see. Was this John Mueller as well? Yeah, John Mueller says having a website with the same name as another site is perfectly fine for search. Obviously, that's true if you understand brand associations and entities and all that good stuff. If you try to make a website with an actual company in the same niche, though, then you might get in trouble if they're trademarked, or you'll definitely might have some difficulties showing for their terms. Lastly, this one, oh, this one's John Mueller as well. Um, John Mueller just reminding us again that Google quality updates can impact crawling and indexation of your site. This one's actually, I think, important. I think I just threw that one in there last because I did want to say that recently the first thing I've been checking during the updates now is probably my indexation, because that seems to be one of the craziest things that's shifting with the pages that will index or not index. Um, and definitely I think a sign of quality if there's issues of quality, if you're seeing pages drop out of index or not being crawled after those updates. So let us know what you're seeing if you're noticing that as well. Anywho, what else we got here?
This was one, I'm dropping it in there now, but I thought it was pretty interesting.
I think yeah, where I saw this too. Who was that?
It's Alan Kent. He's a, let's see, it was a developer, Google developer advocate. Alan Kent says product reviews linking to multiple sellers may get a ranking boost over reviews linking to one.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it was asked on Twitter, and he says, yeah, consider including links to multiple sellers to give the reader the option to purchase from their merchant of choice. So I'm wondering if that's more of a backhanded way of saying we're going to penalize affiliate links and sites that just make articles with one link per
Well,
product.
I don't think that that's going to be penalized because, I mean, they're not, what they're saying is that you can provide a better user experience to a person looking to shop for an item if they can see, say, a list of places and their current pricing and maybe the how long it takes to ship and also shipping costs in a chart versus just giving you a review and a link to one place to go find. I mean that clearly is just a better user experience. And you can go register affiliate links on multiple sites and put them in a nice chart
Well,
and
and that
provide
was
the same experience.
going to be my suggestion. Like, I whenever stuff like this comes out, I always try and think, okay, well, what are they not saying? So in this scenario, they're not saying is that sites that only have one affiliate link for that product and it's just a review and here's a link to buy it and it's very clearly an affiliate site are not going to be getting that boost and maybe not penalized, but these are going to rank higher. But
Yeah.
yeah, so if you're an affiliate and you do affiliate links and reviews of products to try and sell those affiliate link products, then maybe consider diversifying your affiliate links.
Well, well, and if you just take into consideration what he's saying, if you can provide your end user a better experience
Yeah.
for the intent that they're coming to your site for, then do it. Like
Well,
it's
and
it's not really like, oh, this is some crazy SEO strategy. Like it's a better you if you imagine going to Google and you search for a product and it brought up one link
yeah,
at like
exactly.
Amazon and they give you
Exactly.
nothing else. Like that. So yeah, that's just yeah, and I definitely don't think affiliates are going to get hurt in any way. But if you are an affiliate niche, yeah, you could probably get a boost from creating that better user experience.
Yep. Yep.
So be interesting to have just a kind of think of some more ideas like that, because it's not something that it's one of those things that if you really sat down and thought about it, you could probably figure that out,
Yeah.
and then obviously you
Well,
test it and see if it actually does anything. But
it makes
like,
sense, and people aren't idiots either. Like, shoppers aren't stupid. They know that if they find a review link and it's literally just this product did this, it was great at this, blah blah blah, here's a link. They know that you're trying to hawk that product. And they immediately think, "Oh, this guy's making money off of this review, so I'm not going to trust this review or this site." And generally, if you pop something open and you see, a review of a product and it's just one link, if it's not good quality, like, oh, it's a whole open box video and here's some pros and some cons, and like, they can even mention I'm not a paid sponsor, I paid for the, all that stuff helps. But, just more value, and it definitely makes sense that they're doing that. But always try and think, what are they not saying? Like, are they going to start penalizing, and have they already been? Which, if the content's thin and it's just one link, then yeah, you probably aren't going to rank well. But I thought that was a
yeah,
cool
and
one to
that goes
share.
on to the helpful content updates too, is that if the links aren't make sense, like the concept of like linking out to just authority sites or something, like which never made sense to begin with, but maybe it helped previously, but that kind of stuff just doesn't make sense. So, but I mean, if you were to embed, say, 10 other reviews from YouTube on your page and say a drop down with like ones like the best review, like medium review, like you can literally aggregate all kinds of content that makes a better user experience that can rank, I even outrank the original content, which is something that I've played around and tested with
Oh
for
yeah.
years. And that's why duplicate content is just like the dumbest thing in the world. Like, do not fear duplicate content. Like, if you're just copying and pasting pages on your site, then yeah, that's bad. But like thinking that you can't like quote content or reuse or repurpose content to make another experience better because that content exists somewhere else already, you can't use it anywhere else, that's not really the way that works. So
Uh,
anywho,
Dana has a question here. She says, I had seen pages indexing a lot better at the end of the year, but suddenly they are de-indexing again. Not sure what's going on. Have you tried spinning content in ChatGPT to improve quality? Looking for anything I can do to get location pages to index and stay indexed. So yes,
so I do.
location pages have absolutely been getting hammered lately, and most of them are due to a lot of duplicate content, and not, each page not being unique enough, not having enough location information that's going to differentiate it from a neighboring city or what have you. And I think there was
It's
actually a percentage of content that had to be unique that somebody from some test came up with, and it was like 40%
30%.
or 30% or something like that had to at least be unique, and then the rest could be considered, duplicate on other location pages. But
I just guessed 30% based on my findings
it
from
that's and
duplicate content tests.
I think it was right
But
around that 30 or
30
40% mark.
somewhere.
But that's the biggest thing. The more unique you can make those location pages, the better they're going to index. But there's only so much you can do. But like Mike was just saying, there's no reason that you can't grab content, relevant content for those locations from a Wikipedia about the city, things to do about the city. All that stuff is going to be on the internet anyway. Link back to that content where you got it from, cite it accordingly. Um, you know, have Chat GPT do some paraphrasing if you want to. But otherwise, your other issue is going to be, okay, why does Google want to even have this site in the index? Is it authoritative enough? Is it informational enough? Is that information going to help the end user? Is it being supported by backlinks? If you're just talking about doorway pages that you've just created a city page for every city in the state just because you want to be relevant for that, you don't have a GBP listing for it, you don't have brand mentions built out for every single one of those, then Google's going to treat it like that. They're going to say this is just a doorway page and we're not going to index it because we know what you're trying to do. So anytime you
Yeah, it's
have that city
been.
page, you have to build that brand out with it, or it's not going to work well.
The problem is city pages are worthless. Like if you have a brand page and then you make a city page out of it, there's no value that any user gets from that page versus the home page, whether they're local or not. So
Yeah,
that would make perfect sense why Google wouldn't just index. And those type of pages we've talked about for years that, oh, it's still working, it's still working. Now it's not. Like we since for decades, since the beginning of search, we've been duplicating pages and swapping out locations and NAPs and things like that. The SEOs that knew that that wasn't going to last forever, who didn't want to get burned when that time came, made sure that they had unique content, and some of them even went the extra mile to make those pages, like I said, offer more value than just like changing the content, right? Because if you really think about it, rewriting the content, if you have 100 city pages and you slightly rewrite the content or put it in different orders or make it unique, but it all says the same thing with different cities, you're eventually going to run into the same problem. If Google already isn't catching that, they will, because again, there's no value that any of those pages add over the other to the end user, and they definitely wouldn't want that. So that's I honestly I'm leaning more towards the the location page where Bucky said if you have an actual location or a GMB, that makes perfect sense to make that page. Like if someone needs to find your business or that location in that area, and then you should have your service pages and the or product pages or whatever. And I think we go over this concept on our multi-location blog post, where essentially you're linking the location pages to your service pages, so that essentially if people are looking for a location, they can then reference the services of that location, but you no longer have a city service for every service or product you offer, which again is what a lot of people are struggling with now. If you have roofing city, and then gutter city, you're probably seeing problems at this moment.
Yep, yep. I think the strategy of having those pages as a content relevance is still viable, specifically in niches that it's kind of accepted and you're still getting away with it, but also in scenarios where you can have that page as what's it called, not child page, but just by itself, like it's not linking from your service page, it's
An
not
orphan page.
orphan page. So using
Yeah.
it as an orphan page and then building out supporting links and that sort of stuff to that orphan page, and then that orphan page can then link out to service pages or whatever, so at least you still have that page, and if it does get you some keyword relevance, that sort of thing, but you've also removed it from your site structure, you've removed it from your menus, that sort of thing, and then it can become a landing page that you can tweak and run for different promotions and that sort of thing. And if you end up doing that with it, then you've got content that's changing all the time and that sort of thing. So I don't know that it's a completely lost strategy. I think at this point you just kind of have to shift gears and figure out, okay, if I do have these pages, how can I use them, how can I benefit from them still. But again, I mean, that's another page that you're going to have supporting content, you're going to have supporting links, you're going to need to have some social proof, that sort of stuff, because that's kind of holistically, you need to treat it just like a service page or just like your home page. Like if you want it to index and rank well, then Google has to have a reason. Like, are people talking about it? Are people sharing it? Is there fresh content on there? Is there good authoritative content on there? If the answer to those questions are no, then why would you expect Google to waste server space on it? I did drop those links to the perfect location page, the location page audit checklist. That's a fantastic resource, Dana. So grab that for sure. That's actually got a free download. And then the Web 20 Ranker multi-location SEO strategy. That's got the site structure and exactly how interlinking and all that stuff for multi-location would be. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Mike as well. Like the strategy of creating a butt ton of location pages just so you can be relevant in those locations, that strategy is gone now. If you have a legitimate business there and you can build that brand out, then absolutely have a location page. If not, my opinion is it's you're just giving another page that Google's going to go, cool, you got a page, and that's it. They're not going to keep it for you. They're not going to
We
serve it
crawled
up.
it. That's it.
Yeah, we crawled it. Thanks for showing us that you have a page.
Exactly.
Any other? I guess we ran through the news, huh?
I think we did, yeah. Other than that, talk about some tests. We don't got any more questions or
Yeah, tell
anything.
us about your tests. Always love that.
Testing. So I was actually going to start this year off with testing citations and stuff, but I had issues with getting them to index and also getting them to like index evenly. Like I couldn't even tell if things were popping or moving because I built a citation or just because something had changed in the algorithm. So I started moving on to some indexation tests. And then I also had just some, of course, open AI content optimization tests, which I know everyone is thrilled to talk more about. Um, but yeah, the like I was mentioning earlier, I've been using ChatGPT for the initial on-page optimization because from like last week's test, or I think it was last week, where I was even going through just some quick examples of just running some of my content through ChatGPT and adding certain things and essentially referencing different entities, giving me a list of questions, answering those, and then asking it to put the answers to those questions within the content. So I wasn't like actually asking the question and giving the answer on the page, but just kind of providing the answer contextually.
Any other?
So I might be releasing that full list in one of the upcoming updates, where essentially I took the content, put it in, what prompts I used. But this week I'm actually going to be going over just another quick update on that, where I did some other optimization. I think I'd mentioned last week I wanted to try it on a page that was optimized a little better, right? Because my test page was definitely not that well optimized. Um, so using AI to optimize it probably wasn't the best test. But taking those prompts that clearly worked on that and implementing it on a page that already had fairly good optimization, we'll be looking at that this weekend. And then also some indexation tests. I did just essentially I just started throwing a ton of stuff at sites, test sites, citations. I even grabbed some citations from the Web 20 team. Some were for local citation websites like a Yelp or something, or more obscure ones that don't index as well. Some of them were just like NAP citations, on like a blog or something with an article. But yeah, I think I went through a list of like 10 things that I was trying, and I think I even tried a bunch of other stuff too. Um, and 2 days after I posted that, one of my test sites was indexed, oddly enough. Um, and I was trying to figure out why. And I'll probably, I don't want to get into too much details. I'm definitely going to go over that this week in the update. But Google crawled it. It's weird when you look at the cache. It looks like Google has a different website cache than my website. Um, just because I had the same content on my website, maybe. So might be an offshoot test from this indexation test. I might have found something that got Google to crawl the site. I don't know if it actually pushed index, but Google might have just ended up crawling it because some of the things I tested generated links to an extent, right? Like I think I mentioned putting it in another website sitemap, which technically creates a backlink right to the site. Um, but yeah, there was some interesting things when Google crawled it and what it showed as the cache. So I'll be going over that this week in the update. And we're breaking down all those things that I was trying for indexing into single variable tests now. Because not only did that test site index, I got some citations indexed. I got a batch that I just tried, I think I put through yesterday or the day before. Um, at more scale, right, to see if that impacts it. So we might not have the exact thing from last week's list that I tried that got it to index, or at least crawled, right? Because it's Google crawls something, it might not force index, which is essentially what we're looking for. But yeah, make sure you check that out this weekend. You can sign up on the website. I think underneath knowledge in the top right corner now, you can find the weekend updates list and sign up there. But yeah, I think
Oh,
that's about it.